There we go. All right, guys. Welcome to our Monday night call. I'm going to go and mute you all. Even the local reporter, I'm gonna mute too. So that's good. All right. So, guys, welcome to Monday night team training call. Glad that you're on here tonight. Thank you so much for coming on here and taking some of your time to help you build your business. And I got a special conversation tonight that I think a lot of you are going to enjoy. Is this going to apply to everybody? No. Do I think it should apply to everybody? Probably. But we'll talk about that kind of stuff here. But let me go and give you the announcements here for today. First of all, guys, Thursday night, we do have, whoops, I'm hearing more people. Not the local reporter this time. Okay, let's back up. Tuesday night, we do have our Building Depth call. The first and third Tuesday of every single month, we do have the Building Depth call. That's James Hyden will be part of that. I'm part of that. That's about with 20 other elites. We teach you how to build a generational business. Tomorrow night's call is the question and answer call. So that's actually my favorite of the two calls, question and answer calls. It's questions that you ask. If you do have questions for that call, please let me know. And we can get those on the call for the Building Depth. And the cool thing is that we give you about 7 or 8 of the different elites' perspective on that particular question. So if you have a question about that, please let us know. That call is tomorrow night at 9 o'clock Mountain Time. And the link is in the On Renew Life, as well as the WhatsApp text that I've sent out today. So make sure you look at the link for that. That is tomorrow. Thursday night, we do have our normal Thursday night opportunity meeting with Pro Six's Ryan and Melissa Brown for this week and this week only. Typically at 7 o'clock Mountain Time, but this Thursday night it will be 6 o'clock Mountain Time. So make sure that you are aware of that, okay? Because I don't want you to invite people to the 7 o'clock because they'll probably be done by that time. So 6 o'clock Thursday night, Pro Six's Ryan and Melissa Brown will be there. Life Vantage Academy is just around the corner. I know it seems like we just got back from our Elite Academy, but Life Vantage Academy is in March. It's the third weekend of March. By the way, they're always the third weekend of March. Make sure you go to LifeVantageAcademy.com to register for that, and you can get the discount tickets for that now. Don't wait any longer. James Hyden, I believe, unless something's changed, he'll be in the New Hampshire location, and I will be officially out in Denver. So if you guys are up in those general areas, please let me know. Please let James know, because obviously we'd love to connect with you guys and connect with your team and connect with your prospects. So Denver, as well as Portsmouth, New Hampshire, is where James is at. Would love to get in contact with your people. And so just to throw that out there to you. Also, Elite Academy, hold on here. Are they going to have LVA the day before Eastern April? The answer is yes. All Life Vantage Academies are going to be the day before Easter. So that has officially been confirmed. And the reason for that, guys, just so that you know, is that those are booked out months and months and months in advance. We talked about moving it the week before. But the problem with that is that those venues are booked out months ahead. And so there's not really a way that we can change that to make it workable, because it just won't work. So yes, that will be still on the same third schedule. Now, if you're in, I know we have a huge Atlanta group. Atlanta, I know that they have their LVAs, or their version, which we call lead schools out here in Atlanta. That is actually the week before. But then there's also the LVA, which typically I know a lot of the Atlanta people go up to Nashville often. That will still be up there. So just to throw that out there to you guys, register for those things. And then finally, we do have Elite Academy in Kansas City. Guys, Charleston was amazing. Kansas City is going to be, in my opinion, way, way better. Even though I love Charleston, it was a phenomenal one. Kansas City is our 10-year anniversary as a company. So I'm just going to tell you, they're pulling out all the stops for Kansas City. You're going to want to be there. It's going to be huge, bigger than probably anything that we've seen before as far as the company is concerned with Elite Academy. As you know, I'm not one for hype. So I think what they're going to do is some pretty cool things. So I just really want you guys to make sure you schedule that. The ticket prices, I think, are going up after today. They extended them through today, I believe. And then after today, they're jumping up. So they're $100 through today. And then I think they go up to 100 and something. they're a whole lot more than what they are tonight. So just go get your tickets tonight, then you won't have to worry about that and all that kind of good stuff. So LifeVantage Academy, Elite Academy, those are the things that you're looking for. Building Depth Tuesday night, Wednesday or Thursday night opportunity call. So those are all the announcements that we have for this week. And let's go ahead and jump in the topic of conversation. Here's a topic of conversation that I needed your help with. We might still need your help with today. And that is this. Jason, how do you do social media? Okay, so I'm going to answer those questions for you. I'm going to walk you through what that looks like. You're saying, well, I'm not in social media. I get it. I understand. Okay, but this is the thing that you need to know. Whether you're on social media or not, your downline is going to be on social media. And so it's best to understand how to best do social media. And as you've heard me before say, I'm going to really make sure that you understand this. It doesn't matter what works. It only matters what duplicates. So there's a lot of personalities in the world of social media, okay? I'm telling you, a lot of personalities that are the experts in the field. And so I'm going to help you get through all the fluff, okay? So you see a lot of people out in the social media world who are all about the Facebook Lives and doing all that kind of stuff, and they're just totally into Facebook Lives, and every single day they're doing 158 Facebook Lives, and you're like, when is this person not on Facebook? Okay? And you probably get really frustrated with that because you're saying, is that really what I have to do? Well, how many of you, and I know half of you don't have your cameras on tonight. I get it. No problem. You're in your jammies. You're laying in bed, and you don't want to be on camera. Totally understand, okay? So here's the deal, guys. How many of you, with a raise of your hand, love to do Facebook Lives? One? Out of the people I see one hand, okay? How many of you loathe Facebook Lives? Just, you hate them. All right, notice how the hands went all over the place, comparatively speaking. Then there's the people who are in the middle, like, I don't love them, but I don't hate them, type of thing like that. Okay, now, first of all, let me just say to you, I appreciate all of y'all who have been doing your Facebook Lives on the Renew Life with your testimonies. Guys, I so appreciate that. So thank you, thank you, thank you. If you've not gone on there and done your testimony yet, my LV story is the hashtag. Go check them out. Do yours. I would greatly appreciate it. And I'm telling you something, everybody else will appreciate that too. So I really, really encourage you to do that too, okay? So since you told me what you just told me, I'm pretty sure that I know the answer to this whole thing is that the fact that the majority of you guys are not really big fans of doing the Facebook Lives. And so guess what? Statistics would say that your downline is not really super excited about doing Facebook Lives. So here's the thing. It doesn't matter what works. It only matters what duplicates. And so I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to give you a little secret. Are you ready? Are you ready? Facebook Lives, are you ready? Are not duplicable. What? Did you really just say that out loud, Jason? I did. I totally say that. I did say that out loud because guess what? The majority of the people freak out when it comes to public speaking. Now, I'm the oddball. I don't mind getting up in front of 5,000 people. It doesn't even make me sweat. I don't get butterflies. I'm like, 5,000 people. Let's throw 5,000 more out there. It doesn't matter a lick of difference to me. Okay? But how many of you, if I were to say, why don't you all get up in front of 5,000 people right now and give me a 5-minute conversation, how many of you would freak out? Yeah, a few of you. A lot more are probably not admitting it. The number one fear, here's the funny thing, the number one fear of people is not spiders or snakes. The number one fear of people is public speaking, okay? So again, it doesn't matter what works, it only matters what duplicates. So I want to make sure that we all understand this, okay? So I don't do, how many times have you seen me do a Facebook Live not on Renew Life? How many of you ever seen me, anybody ever seen me do a Facebook Live on my own personal profile? I do, but like every once in a blue moon, like twice a year, okay? No, I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not saying they're bad, but at the end of the day, guys, social media marketing does not have to be done from Facebook Live. Most of you know that I have two positions in this company. My wife has one, I have another. My wife was the one that enrolled January 1st, 2011, and a few years later, we signed up the second position, which was my position. And did you know that my second position, about 85% of it has been completely 100% on social media? So I've developed a six-figure income that's actually almost about to hit Pro 8. It might even be this month. I mean, we're going to be super close. I'm working my tail off to make it happen. That's done mostly through social media. And you've never seen me do a Facebook Live. So I'm going to show you exactly what I do. Are you ready? Okay. I'm going to show you exactly what, in fact, I'm going to bring my Facebook up. I had some of you bring up topics, and by the way, I'm sorry, several of you brought topics up today on my Facebook Live, on Renew Live. I'm not going to get to all of them. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up my Facebook and show you exactly what I do. This is what I've been doing now for a while and have a six-figure business. So are you ready for this? All right, so now I'm up on my web page, Google Chrome. You don't have to do on Google Chrome. I just like Google Chrome better. Anyway, if you're having a question, I'm sorry, I can only see like 3 faces at this present time of moment pop up on my screen. Okay, so if you have a question, I'll try to get to them here shortly. All right, so let's go to Facebook and let's take a look and gather up on Facebook. Okay. Because I think this is important. All right, so as you can see, hey, the very first thing, Network Marketing Pro, Go Pro Academy by Eric Worre. Check that out, guys. That's my first little thing that comes up. All right, anyway, let's take a look up over here, and I want you to go to my personal profile because I want you guys to see what I don't do because I think this is important. So I'm going to click on my personal profile, and as you can see, I'm just going to scroll down just a little bit, and Zoom's going to make it slow. You're not going to see anything in regards to LifeVantage, business products, or anything like that, okay? But what you are going to see is you're going to see what Facebook's actually designed for. Life. This was my family at the Georgia Aquarium. This is a quote. This is Melissa Brown tagging me on a Facebook Live she did. She loves Facebook Lives. I'm not saying it's bad. Please understand that. But she does. She tagged me in a Facebook Live that was from a year ago. In fact, this is the night right here. This is the night that Melissa Brown and Ryan Brown learned all the depths and details about LifeVantage out in St. George, Utah. Then you have over here a poll. Then you have here another poll. A picture. Oh, guys, if you've never tried jackfruit tacos, you've got to try jackfruit tacos. Just throwing that out there to you. Okay? A stupid thing. My profile picture. Oh, you guys know those people, a picture, all that kind of stuff. Another poll. You're saying, Jason, why are you doing all these polls on your personal profile? Very simple. Because the more people who tag that poll and add to it, guess what it's going to do to my profile? It's going to make more visibility so more people are seeing it. So that's why I do the poll. Make sense? Okay? So I want more visibility. A couple things over here that I want you to see. Introduction. Notice that I don't say anything over here about LifeVantage. Why? Because people are going to understand that if I pursue them with a Facebook message, okay, guys, this is super important. They're going to look at this and say, oh, I wonder what Jason's talking about. So they're going to go Facebook stalk me. I'm telling you, if you're going to do social media marketing, everybody's going to Facebook stalk you. It's just going to happen, okay? And they're going to look here and say, well, I don't see anything about anything here. I don't even see that Jason has a job. So I don't know what he's talking about. I don't think about LifeVantage, and I'm going to start scrolling through his whole thing here. I don't see any products. I don't see any sales pitch. I have zero clue what Jason's talking about. Guess what? That's a good thing, isn't it? As soon as they see something about LifeVantage or a product or anything like that, you know what's going to happen, guys? They're going to make a 100% decision on your 3% information that you have right here. So please do yourself a favor. Take anything and everything that you have about LifeVantage and put it away. Redo it. Now, what you will see here is right here. It says, I'm a stay-at-home dad who has a stay-at-home wife. Do you think that intrigues people? It does. Now, you can put whatever in the world you want to, but my recommendation is don't put anything about LifeVantage. Okay? Make sense? Because as soon as you put your unofficial LifeVantage distributor, they're going to start stocking what LifeVantage is, and they're going to come to a conclusion that's just well wrong. Okay? Now, today I asked for your help here. Okay? Today I asked for your help to give me a topic. So what I'm going to show you is exactly how I do my social media marketing, and how already this year, 2019, I've already enrolled 5 people, distributors, okay, because of how I do my social media marketing. And I'm not salesy. It doesn't come across scammy. The key with social media, just like it is in the outside world, is that my job is to meet needs, isn't it? Okay? So I'm going to stop sharing this for just a second, and I'm going to bring up a whiteboard, okay? Because I'm going to draw this out for you. So notice no Facebook Lives, right? Did you guys see any Facebook Lives? No Facebook Lives. So this is what it looks like. I have several groups, okay? So my first group is my team group. You guys are all a part of that. That's my Renew Life group. Congratulations, welcome. I'm so glad that you're there, part of my group, okay? Now, this is closed group. By the way, all my groups are closed, okay? All my groups are closed. That means people can find them, but they can't see what the content of them contains, okay? Secondly, I have a prospect group. Now, this prospect group is a group of people who've already heard a full presentation. In this group, there are product testimonials, there's product science, there is business testimonials, and there's business different business things. So there might be compensation in there, there might be rank advancements in there, there might be all kinds of different things. James Hyde and I have the video of his Jeep and all that kind of stuff. That's all there too. This is for people who've already seen. This is one of my, if you will, allow me to use this term, one of my funnels. Okay? And I post in this one 1 to 2 times a day. 1 to 2 times a day. Guys, I don't really want to do more than that. And the reason for that is because I don't want them to feel like I'm bombarding them with information. Then it's going to come across salesy rather than I'm trying to help. Does that make sense? Okay, now I'm going to tell you what I do. Okay, this is only my group, period. Now, I do have some of my distributors in that group. But the reason why I have some of my distributors in the group, because at one point in time, those distributors were my prospects, weren't they? But they are not allowed to be gushy and salesy and say, you know, all kinds of stupid things inside of that, because I'll delete their comments and kick them out. They're there just to gather information and build their prospect group at some point in time. So I leave it as a tool for them to learn from. All right, does that make sense? That's what it's there for. To be very honest with you, there's not necessarily a whole lot of communication from the prospects in this group. In other words, they're not commenting tons and tons and tons and tons. But what does happen is a lot of these prospects contact me via Facebook Messenger. And that's where the gold's at. Okay? That's where the gold's at. In fact, this last week, I had somebody who has been in that prospect group for like a couple years now. In fact, I actually have a couple of these prospect groups, not just one, an old one and a new one. My old one, they contact me. They've been in that group for probably 2.5, 3 years. And they just contacted me this last week and are wanting to order the product through Facebook Messenger. Okay? And then I have another group that I also own, that I'm the admin, and this is my funnel group. Okay? I'm going to call this my sifter group. Now, this sifter group is populated by other groups that are non-me related. Okay, does that make sense? So if you noticed on my Facebook profile, I'm going to stop here and then go back to my Facebook profile. You'll see here, right here, that there's a link. You see that? And then you'll also notice right here that that link is the same thing. It's a Facebook group. Those two links are the exact same thing. And so when they do look at my profile, what they will see is they will see those two links. And what that is my sifter group. Guys, I'm sifting through there to see what people are ready and see what people I want on my team. Okay? Does that make sense? Now, there's over 1,000 people in that group. Now, those people come to my group in several different ways. Number one, they come through these direct links because they're stalking me on Facebook. Okay? Second way that they're finding me is through other groups that I'm in. Other groups that I'm in. So what I did today is I asked you on my Facebook Live, I asked you, okay, give me a topic of discussion. All right, and several of you gave me a topic of discussion, and as you can see here on my Facebook, I was not able to get to all of them because I was in meetings the rest of the night because I have 43 notifications. I have zero clue what these are about. Okay, so let me just go with this. The ones I did get to do, so the topics that I did actually get to work with were the ones that were announced to me on the original actual Facebook Live, the real live Facebook Live. So what I did is I joined this afternoon the topic of discussion of adoption. Okay, so I got adoption. I actually got a few groups of adoption. I got traveling, and then dollhouses. Those are the ones. I am part of a dollhouse group, guys. Not just one, but like 3. Super excited to learn about dollhouses. Not my world of things. But I want to show you this. The reason why I'm excited about this is because, guys, here's the thing. It doesn't matter what the subject matter is, okay? And I want us to understand that. It doesn't matter what the subject matter is, but the reason why I picked these hobbies and interests, because it has to be something that you are passionate about. Now, I know nothing about dollhouses. I mean, like, nothing about dollhouses. But I'm going to show you kind of how this whole works. Now, I'm sorry, Aaron Moorhead, if you're on tonight, I did not pick jarts. I did learn what jarts are. Jarts are lawn darts, but like they're illegal in the United States because like they kill people. Okay, so that's what I've learned. Like there was several jart Facebook groups, but here's the deal: like the biggest one I think had 12 members in it. So not a cool thing. All right, so I'm going to show you what I look for. Are you ready for this? I'm going to go to those ones I just mentioned to you. And guys, I'm just going to be very honest with you. This meeting tonight, right now, is probably going to go over the time. Okay, I'm just going to be very honest with you. So if you want to hang around, you can hang around. If you don't, hey, I get it. No problem. Go to bed. I understand. But this is a question I get all the time. I mean, like probably every single day. And I just want to make this video here for all of you to see so that you can understand exactly how I function. Okay, last year I enrolled over 20-some distributors through what I'm going to show you right now. How many would like to enroll 20-some distributors from social media? Okay, now this year alone, I've already enrolled 4 or 5. I don't remember. I think it's 5. This year, okay? So this is exactly what I do. By the way, some of you are victims of what I'm showing you tonight, okay? I don't mean that in a bad way. It's a good way, okay? Because we're meeting needs is what we're doing. I'm not selling anybody. I'm putting out catchphrases that people are attracted to, hence the word attraction marketing, okay? Now, there's a couple different ways we look at attraction marketing. Some of you know the way of attraction marketing where I'm standing out front of my Lamborghini in front of a massive, huge bazillion-dollar home. And that's attraction marketing because people say, well, I want that Lamborghini, then I want that home. Guys, I hate that method of attraction marketing, okay? Because I'm going to tell you the inside secrets of that of attraction marketing. Do you know that attraction marketing, that a lot of those people actually rent those cars and rent those houses for a photo shoot. True story. I'm sorry to break it to you, but that's what happens, okay? There's another form of attraction marketing, which you're seeing more often, which is the Facebook Lives, right? Where you're seeing these people going through the Facebook Lives, and it makes life look glamorous all the time, okay? Couple problems with that. A, it's not always glamorous, and B, again, it doesn't matter what works, it only matters what duplicates, and the majority of you already told me you don't like doing Facebook Lives. So is there another option? Is there an actual duplicable option that all of you can do, and I mean all of you can do, to make social media work for you? The answer is yes. And that's what we're going to share with you tonight, okay? All of you just told me you want to make 20 distributors the next, how about 20 platinum packs in 2019 or more? All right, is that what we want to do? Okay, so I'm going to show you what I do. I'm going to show you exactly what I do. So let's go back to Facebook here. I'm going to do two things here. The reason why I had to ask this afternoon is because sometimes it takes a while for the groups to actually approve you. I wanted to make sure that those groups approved me. So that's why I'm in adoption, dollhouses, and traveling. Okay. Again, no jarts. Sorry about that. Okay. All right. So somebody right now, give me another interest. Another interest or hobby. Chat it. Say it out loud. Say that again.
Charlotte Mason Education.
Okay, Charlotte Mason Education, something I'm familiar with. Karate. Okay, we'll try doing both, because I think it's good to have multiple options here. All right, so let's go back to Facebook. And so what we're going to do, guys, now I'm on my computer right now, as you can tell, and so it's going to look a little bit different on your phone, but we're gonna do this. Okay, so let's do Charlotte Mason, and you notice homeschooler. That's why I'm familiar with it. Okay, so we're just going to do this. Now, what I want you to see here, guys, there's all these things up here. What I want to specifically look for is the groups, not pages, groups. Groups are important. So click on the groups button. On your phone, it will also say that, okay? More people are chatting me. Hold on. Classic cars. All right, we'll see what we can do here, y'all. Okay, now, what I'm looking for is a couple things here. In these groups, I am looking specifically for the amount of members, okay? And then also closed groups. So over here on the left side, you see my thing over here. It says any group, public groups, and closed groups. I want closed groups. Click on the closed groups. The reason why I want closed and not public is because if it's public, anybody can see what I'm posting in those groups. Make sense? I don't want everyone seeing what I'm posting in these groups. So I want it closed. So I do close, number one. Number two, I'm also looking for groups that are close to 10,000 members or more. Now, you can certainly do 10,000 or less, but the reason why I like 10,000 or more is because I kind of want to get lost, but I don't want to get lost too much. Now, what I'm going to do is obviously very simply click join. And what you're going to see in most scenarios is they're going to ask you questions. Okay? So let's go ahead and pick. Obviously, we've got one choice here that has 17,000 members. We see that they're active because there's at least 10 posts a day, okay? And then we have Charlotte Mason the earlier, 7.2. So which one do you think I'm going to take? Well, there's also Charlotte Mason nature journaling. So there's another avenue that I can look at, okay? So what I'm going to do, and sorry, Becky, I'm going to join this group right now. Okay, so now I have to answer 3 questions. Why did you choose to homeschooling using CM? Charlotte Mason, how to style do you consider yourself? I am all about it. All right, that's what I'm going to say. And then I can also say still learning, because I am. Okay, this group is dedicated to traditional Charlotte Mason philosophies. Please do search posting any questions and check the file section for more in-depth study. Do you agree? Yep, I agree to not just post things without checking to see if there's already in there. That's what it's asking. We fully support your individual choices in your homeschool, but agree that you only discuss what falls in CM's philosophy on the page. So in other words, talk about Charlotte Mason. Don't talk about some other form of homeschooling. Do you agree? Yep, agree. Submit. Okay, now you're going to get this. Now, cool thing is, as of right now, until we get into that group, okay, did it say anything not about selling products? No, it didn't, did it? So that's actually a good group that I might be able to go to talk about business as well as product. Now, pause, time out. When I get in that group, there might be notes that I have to look at to see whether or not they say don't sell things, don't give links, don't do that type of stuff. And those, you're going to have to be extra careful with how you go about it, because I'm not going to sell anything. I'm going to do attraction marketing. All right? So you see that. Now, we can do the same thing. We can do karate. We can go to groups. We can go to closed. And now we see here, I don't even know what this stuff is. I don't even know if it even has anything to do with, it's the KonMari with kids. So it's apparently it's a particular method of karate. 43,000 members, 38,000 members, 37,000 members. So obviously some same ideas. We're going to look at the same thing. We're not going to do it with kids. We're going to do traditional karate do. Will you abide by the rules of the group? So in this particular one, there is rules in the group that you have to learn. Do you practice traditional Japanese or Okinawan karate? I don't know. Don't practice either one of them. What do you feel you can contribute to this group if you become a member? I don't know if I can contribute anything, but I'm going to put that down there. I'm going to hit submit. All right. So that's a very typical thing that you're looking for. Okay. That makes sense. Same thing with classic. Leave this page. Classical cars. Same thing in groups. Okay, so I'm going to show you something, guys, here. This 135,000 members, I'm going to be very honest. I'm going to avoid that group like the plague. Okay? Again, I want around 10,000 to maybe 30,000 tops, 20,000 here. Why don't I want to do a 135,000 member group? Very simple, because I'm going to get lost in that group. Make sense? I'm going to get lost in that group, so I don't want to have anything to do with that. All right, now, let me jump in here, and I don't even know what all the groups that I jumped into are, so I'm just going to look them up in my email. All right, so this is a group I joined today. China adoption questions. Now, as you see, joined today. Doesn't tell me everything. All that kind of stuff, because I'm already joined. All right, so China adoption groups. I've not even looked on this group yet. All right, so this one actually is small, and the reason why is because there was not actually a whole lot of adoption groups that had a large number. So this has 5,000, basically 6,000 groups. One of the things you can do is you can click on the members, and you can see who else might be in there that you know. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. So in this particular group, there's nobody in my life. There's nobody in my life on my Facebook list that is part of this particular group. Okay, now, obviously, I'm not trying to adopt in China, but somebody asked about adoption, so I am showing you. Okay, so let's go back to the discussion. And let's just scroll down, okay? And I apologize if there's anything that is not appropriate. I'm just going through this like a live feed. Okay. Okay, here we go, guys. What do we see? I mean, I was only in this for like, what, 6 posts? And 6 posts later, what do we see? We see something health related, don't we? Guys, I'm telling you, this happens every day in this group. Or not this group, but any group. This happens all the time. Now, I don't necessarily directly comment on this, but what I want to do is actually go down to the comments. All right, and see what the comments have to say. And where I comment is on the comment of the comments. And this is what I'm doing. Again, this is a much smaller group than I'm normally around with. So I really don't do a whole lot of kind of stuff with this, with a small group like this, okay? So you're kind of seeing all kinds of different things. You know, this person says it's a boil, maybe possibly staph infection. I don't know, but guys, do we have something that potentially could help with this? Yeah, maybe True Science, right? Maybe the anti-aging cream. So we see it's probably a boil or something like this. Now, here's the thing, guys. What we could do is we could straight out and say, hey, I've got a product called True Science by LifeVantage. I could do that, but not what I want to do. Why? Because I just ruined everything. I mean, I literally ruined everything. So this is not necessarily one I would particularly quote on or comment on, but you're getting the idea, right? You're seeing this kind of stuff happen all the time, okay? Let me just see here. Okay, eczema. See this right here? This is what? 2 posts down. 2 posts down, he's talking about eczema. Trying to differentiate if it's winter skin or dairy intolerance. He has a GI function is fine in their opinion. Okay, guys, so is there something about eczema that we can deal with? Eczema, typically, guys, rashes, any type of skin infection is typically a gut-related issue. So I might say something to the degree of, in this particular thing, I might say to them, well, typically, any type of skin issue is a gut-related issue, so probably there's a gut issue. That would be what I would start off with. That would be the phrase I would use. Okay, now, sometimes it sinks in, sometimes people comment on it. That's what I'm looking for. I'm trying to say something enough for them to want to learn more. Does that make sense? I'm not just throwing the whole information in there. Guys, this is a patience game. It's a social media patience game, okay? We don't want to throw everything out in the very beginning because we're not going to get people who want to come farther into the conversation. My job is to attract them to want to learn more. Does that make sense? Okay? So in this situation, to say, well, you know what? Eczema is often a gut issue, and it's important to get the right probiotic in the gut. Okay? Now, they might say, well, what's the right probiotic? Well, you know what? The majority of probiotics on the shelf, this is my next phrase, the majority of probiotics that are on the shelves, the majority of the stuff actually gets, the strands of probiotic get burnt before it actually ever reaches the stomach lining, the gut. So we need to make sure that we have a probiotic that actually gets in the gut. Okay, you see where I'm going from, right? We're just throwing little phrases. So what do you think they're going to do next? They're going to probably say, well, what probiotics out there can do that? You know, you see where I'm going with, right? We're just doing one little phrases at a time. We're not gushing all over Facebook with these type of things. What we're doing is we're just throwing these little phrases out. Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't remember where this product or this particular group says that I can sell or market or anything like that. So I have to be careful with what I say in this. I haven't read the rules, okay? Now, we can do that with that. Let me check this as well. Another group here. Give me a second here. I know that we have one about traveling. All right, next one. A group called Travel Community. Now, I actually do like this one because I do like traveling, as many of you know. All right, so guys, here's the thing. This is a much bigger group than I typically would run around with. Here's families. Actually, I thought I asked to join this one earlier today, but apparently not. Or maybe it was a different one that says families love to travel. But Travel Community, I got joined. I went and joined, and obviously you can see I requested one here. But Travel Community, okay? Now, what you're going to find in these, you're going to find the health issues. But you're also going to find, and obviously adoption as well, you're going to find things, and again, it can be anything, miniature houses, whatever. You're going to have people who are going to say, you know, guys, I really want to travel more, or I really want to adopt, or I really want to buy more miniature doll houses, or I really want to do karate all the time, or I really want to do this, you know, whatever. And they're going to say something like, I can't afford this. Or every once in a while, they're going to say something like, this is not travel community related, but my job is terrible. And they're going to do this all the time. And so then I'll say little catchphrases such as, have you ever heard of residual income? You see where I'm coming with that, right? And I just use the one phrase. Well, no matter what you do, you should really do something that revolves around residual income. Okay? And this is what I do. And I'll be honest, I spend probably about 30 minutes to an hour a day doing this, total, throughout the whole day. Okay? Now, I want to stop here and say this to you guys. A couple things here, okay? I'm going to stop sharing this, and I'm going to come back here because I see another chat. Does it matter if multiple LV people are in the same private group or not? No, I don't think so. I don't think it matters, okay? Because, in fact, several of you are still in the same groups that I am that you came and joined LifeVantage, okay? Now, am all I doing is just trying to market my business and my products? The answer is no, okay? I'm in these groups for two reasons. Number one, to learn and give value just as much as I'm trying to market, right? So do I give value? Yes. In that hour worth of time, I am trying to give value to them. So let's just say, for instance, in the travel group, they might say, well, Jason, tell me, what when you traveled to Europe, what was your favorite destination? I'll say, you know what, I really enjoyed, if I were to go back to Europe right now, I'd probably go to Italy, and I'd probably go to Lake Como. I love Lake Como in Italy, just absolutely loved it, okay? That's giving value. What would you like doing there? Well, there's tons of stuff to do there, type of idea. Is there any places that you would avoid in Europe? Yeah, Switzerland. I would probably not go back to St. Moritz, Switzerland. It's way too expensive. I mean, if you want to spend $100 on a meal, even for like appetizers, go to St. Moritz, Switzerland. Okay, either that, or there's a grocery store that you can probably go to the deli in the grocery store and still spend about $50 and make it out. Okay, but you see where I'm coming from. So I'm going to get value in there so that they just see me not trying to market. They're going to see me trying to actually give value to these things. Now, a couple things here. I'll be honest with you when I say to you that the majority of what I'm looking for is business, not product. Okay? I'm looking majority for business people, not product. So my sifting group that I have, remember I have that last group of sifting, people are wanting to know about business. So I have a group right now that's well over 1,000 people that are all looking for side hustles. Okay? They're all looking for side hustles. Now, you're saying, well, how come you're not a Pro 20 right now? Very simple. Because I don't want all of those 1,000 people in my business. You're saying, are you kidding me? I want all of those 1,000 people in my business. Yeah, but understand something. You've got to work with them. Okay? You've got to work with them. And you know what? Sometimes, frankly, you just don't want to work with them. In fact, this last week was a classic example. We were about ready to do a Zoom call. I'm not going to call out the person on here just in case for whatever reason, but we were about ready to do a Zoom call with somebody that we met on LinkedIn. But in the process of setting up the Zoom call, it was a confirmed Zoom call. Confirmed. They're in, ready to go for the Zoom call. We did a little background search on Google and found out that they were found guilty for fraud for like a couple $100,000. Now, question, is that somebody you want on your team? No, I don't. So, you know, sometimes you're going to have those people there that you just frankly don't want on your team. Well, do you want to enroll them? Because here's the thing. If you enroll them, then guess what? You're responsible for them. And I only want people on my team who I am willing to work with. So that sifter group that I have, just to be very honest with you, is people I'm sifting through to see if these are people I really can work well with. If I can't work well with them, I'm sorry, I kind of ignore the conversation. Now, hopefully I can still teach them, and that my sifter group, I'm teaching them about business, teaching about residual income, I'm teaching them about finances. That's what I'm doing in my group. Your group can be all about products and health and natural things and all that kind of stuff if you want to. You can make your group whatever in the world you want your group to be about. Okay? But that's what I'm doing. And you know, what I'm trying to do is when people reach out to me, what I'm gonna do, and by the way, let me show you something here. Let me go back to Facebook real quick. In case you didn't know, if you go to your messenger right here, okay? I'm gonna go into my messenger right here, and then, you know, I never do this from my laptop, so we'll see what happens. Up here, hit the screen, hit the little thing. You're gonna see this little thing here, and it says message requests, okay? And you see right here, This is a person I had a meeting tonight. Okay, I had a meeting tonight with one of my team here in Georgia, and this person brought some of her guests there. So she, through message request, found me. Guess what, guys? If you're not checking this, if you've never checked this before, you might have a lot of message requests there. so you might want to go check that. So that's kind of important. But what my goals with all these groups, guys, is to get these people to message me and then to get them on a Zoom call. Now, getting them to my Sifter group is great, but what I really am looking for is to get them to a Zoom call. And if I can get them to a Zoom call, it's really, really a good thing. Okay? Does everyone jump in that I do on social media? No, but it's just like the same numbers that I'm getting from doing people outside of social media are the same numbers I'm getting inside of social media. So I'm going to get just as many no's inside of social media that I'm going to get outside of social media. So some of you might be asking, well, Jason, do you still do meetings outside of social media? The answer is yes. In fact, some of my newest recruits, if you will, who are on this call as we speak, are people outside of social media. So yes, I still do both, okay? But I want everyone to understand. So what you just saw is a glimpse of what I'm doing every single day for about 30 minutes to an hour. It's not rocket science, guys, but the key is the hook statements. You're putting things out there to make them intrigued about what you're doing. Attraction marketing, okay? Is this more of a duplicable method? Well, I think so, because I don't have to look like a fool on a Facebook Live for 15 minutes. Okay, now I can act like a fool on Facebook Live for 15 minutes. I can, but I don't want to, okay? And I'm not saying don't do Facebook Lives. Guys, please understand that. But understand, it doesn't matter what works. It only matters what duplicates. So at the end of the day, you may love to do Facebook Live, and it's okay if you do them. But understand, if you're trying to teach your downline how to do social media marketing, then understand something. If you're teaching Facebook Lives, you're going to lose the majority of your downline, okay? So I can go further into detail about this, all right? What about Instagram do's and don'ts? So I use Facebook. About 90% of all my social media marketing is through Facebook, to be very honest with you. 5% is through Instagram, and as of the last few weeks, I have picked up LinkedIn more hardcore. So I'm doing about 5% LinkedIn. The large majority, in fact, I'll just be very honest with you when I say this, 100% of all of my people that have enrolled with me have been through Facebook. Okay? Ryan and Melissa Brown, Pro Sixes in the company, enrolled December 2017, are now Pro Six. Okay? They were actually following me both on Facebook and Instagram. Ironically, Instagram is where they saw me being in St. George, Utah, but they learned probably more about me through Facebook than they did through Instagram. So I've enrolled 100% through Facebook, but I do have quite a bit of people who have now followed me from Instagram to Facebook. Does that make sense? So I've not directly enrolled anybody from Instagram or LinkedIn. Most of them then find me on Facebook and now work with me on Facebook, okay? So I'm not saying don't do Instagram. I'm not saying don't do LinkedIn, because if you follow me on Instagram, then you certainly see I'm there. If you follow me on LinkedIn, you certainly see I'm there. But I use Facebook primarily, and that's where I spend the large majority of my time, okay? I may have overwhelmed you with things. Maybe not, okay? I'm a big fan of, it doesn't matter what works, it only matters what duplicates, and I believe this is a duplicable method. Guys, there's, I don't know, 2.3 billion people on Facebook or something like that, or 1.3 billion. Either way, there's a whole lot of people on Facebook, okay? That's what we need to know, all right? So there's an unending supply of people, okay? That's why I use Facebook. Again, do I still market outside of Facebook or social media or the computer? The answer is yeah, absolutely. Why? Because do I still have family and friends that need LifeVantage? Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I want you to understand how that whole thing works. Okay, so question. I'd like to learn more about your sifting group. So in that sifting group, I never say anything about LifeVantage. I never say anything about network marketing for a lot of reasons, because I'm trying to teach these people on finances and business. 80% of all millionaires are made through business. You guys know that? 80% of all millionaires are made through business. So a lot of people, as I often tell people, we were trained to be employees through school. We are not trained to be entrepreneurs. Okay? And so the large majority of people that are out there, there's a mental shift that has to happen with them here like this, okay? That when I'm teaching them to be an entrepreneur, I'm not blasting them with network marketing. I'm not blasting them with LifeVantage. In fact, if you go through my entire group, my sifting group, you'll never see a word about network marketing. Now, I do talk about other businesses. I talk about real estate. I talk about Amazon. I talk about affiliate marketing. I talk about e-courses. I talk about e-books. I talk about a lot of different things through that sifting group, but I never talk about network marketing. Okay? You're saying, well, why don't you talk about network marketing in that sifting group? Very simple, because the average Joe doesn't understand network marketing. And if I were just to blow up network marketing in that sifting group, you know what's going to happen? They're going to run, okay, because they don't get it. But what happens, and even this even happened today, is that someone contacted me and said, Jason, I want to know what you're doing. Can we sit down and talk through some business options? So we scheduled a webinar this afternoon, a Zoom call this afternoon at noon, okay? And I talked to them about different business opportunities, but then at the very last opportunity I talked to about them was about network marketing and why network marketing is such an awesome opportunity. Okay. Now, you're saying, well, I don't know all this business stuff. That's fine. It doesn't have to be about this. Okay. It doesn't have to be about business stuff. Understand that. It can be about natural health. It could be about whatever. It really can. Okay. I want you to understand that. It really can. But again, business, this type of education is a passion of mine. Okay. So if it's natural health, obviously it has to do with one of two things with LifeVantage, right? Business or health, right? Has to be in one of those two worlds of things. You guys understand that, right? So if you're going to do a sifting group, which I recommend, you're going to be able to populate this real quick. Then my suggestion with that is make it of health or make it about business. Okay. Now, why do I pick business over health? Do you have a health sifting group? The answer is no, I don't. Why? Because if you've listened to me in any amount of time, you know that I'm a business first guy over product first. Why? Because I want my business to go faster, not slower. Okay? Does that make sense? So in that group, guys, you're saying, I don't know a whole lot about business. I don't know a lot about all these things. Then my recommendation, and I'm just going to tell you this, whether it's about business or about health, is to learn. Read books or listen to books, as you know I do. I'm an Audible freak. Okay, I love Audible. I try to listen to multiple books in a month. Guys, being above the crowd with being a well-read person is going to put you this much farther ahead of everybody else. Okay, so when we personally grow in those worlds of things, it's going to change the way that we live. Okay, and obviously I want you guys to excel in what you're doing. I've never gone into this detail with what I do in social media. Okay, but you're my team. And so because you're my team, I don't mind opening up, because I would love you to go enroll 20 platinum packs this year with social media. I would love it. In fact, why don't y'all do that? Okay. Why don't you go enroll 20 platinum packs this year from social media alone? Okay. Because I think it's so important. Okay. I think it's so important to understand, is Facebook going anywhere, guys? It's going to be here for the long term. Social media is not going anywhere. And I'm just going to tell you, as we're moving forward with our business, if Facebook is not part of it, I believe you still can do network marketing, but do we want to work smarter or harder? Smarter, right? And I know that some of you didn't literally mouth that, but you still got it, okay? So we still want to work smarter, and that's why I use social media. Guys, it's not going here. And I'm just going to be very honest with you when I say this. Facebook is still trying to figure out Facebook. Okay, let me say that again. Maybe that didn't make any sense to you. Facebook is still trying to figure out Facebook. Because, guys, Facebook has only been around for about 10 years now, right? They're changing their algorithms every 30 to 90 days. Okay? Because they still don't know what they're doing. So the methods I'm using right now, I believe, are duplicable and hopefully long term. I'm never going to make a guarantee for that, but I think they're duplicable long term. Okay, so any questions or more questions, feel free to ask. I mean, I know that we're already half an hour over what we normally would go, but I told you can get off anytime you want to. I'm not holding any of you hostage. I've not handcuffed you to Zoom. Okay, so questions. I heard somebody's voice. Go for it.
Hey, this is Abby. I have a question about, is it important to also have an Instagram account? Because I don't, but I'm willing to go there if I need to.
I don't think so. I don't think so. To be very honest, I'm a person who tries a lot of different things, and if they utterly fail, I'm okay. And to be very honest with you, Abby, I'd rather utterly fail than you utterly fail. Okay, so I'm willing to be the guinea pig. That's why I just started doing LinkedIn, because I'm willing to be an idiot so that nobody else has to be the idiot. So do you have to be on Instagram? No, I'll be honest with you. If you're only on Facebook, I'm totally cool with that, because you can totally rule the world social media wise on Facebook. Some of you might. Does that answer your question, Abby? Did you have anything else?
It does. And I had one more question. When you contribute in a group, and then people see your name and they instantly go to your Facebook account and look at you and your pictures, do they usually send you a friend request, or do they message you, or is your Facebook group or your Facebook page of a public nature where you're followed by people? I was just wondering that. Okay.
So great question. And I don't know how much time I'm going to spend with this, but here's the thing. My Facebook is 100% public.
Okay.
Okay. Does that mean your Facebook has to be 100% public? No, it doesn't. Okay. But I think at least it needs to be at some point semi-public. Okay. So what I mean by that is you don't have to have all of your posts to be, if you want all of your posts to be friends only, I'm okay with that. But what I do want to be available for everyone to see is at least who you are and what you do. Okay. So for me, I'm a stay-at-home dad with a stay-at-home wife. Basically what I'm saying to you is what I don't want them to see is I don't want them to see that you're an official LifeVantage distributor. Okay. That's what I don't want them to see. Because here's the deal, guys, they're going to Facebook stalk you. If they're curious, they're going to Facebook stalk you. Okay. So I have mine public, guys, because here's the deal. If your name's on Facebook, they're going to be able to find you. I don't care. I mean, they can find you. I mean, it's just the thing. I get both friend requests as well as private messages. Okay. Now, if they friend request me and they don't private message me and they just friend request me, as soon as that happens, I'm going to go to Facebook message and Facebook message them.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll ask them, say, hey, you know what? Thanks for connecting with me. Curious, why did you want to connect? And I'll say 9 out of 10 times, they'll respond to that. If they don't respond to it, guess what happens? They get the boot. They're no longer my friend. They're out of there. Okay? So unfriend button is our friend. Okay? But the majority of them do answer it, and I'll be very honest when I say that the majority of them say, you know, Jason, I saw one of your posts on such and such a group. Man, you really intrigued me with what you said. I want to learn more. And so I'll say, great. Well, the best way to learn is why don't we get on a Zoom conference call? I'll be more than happy to share all the information with you. Does everybody want to do that? No. So say, hey, that's okay. No big deal. Hey, I've got this group over here that you can learn about some stuff over there. Why don't you go to it? And you know what? They go over there and they join the group. And most of the time what happens is people join the Zoom, or a lot of times they join the Zoom and join the group. Okay. All right. Answer all your questions?
Yes, thanks.
Okay. Next question.
Hey, Jason.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Which group do you put them in if they don't want to do the Zoom call? Because you have
the sifting group.
The sifting group. Okay.
Yeah. I never put anybody in the prospect group unless they've heard a full presentation, period. Because I don't want them to know about LifeVantage and stuff, because they're going to think they know everything about LifeVantage from my prospecting group. So that's only for people who've seen the full group. How do you have to be signed up as a distributor? Technically 18. Do you join groups specifically in Georgia? I haven't. I am in one group in Georgia, but that's a homeschool group in Georgia. but it's a very small group. I think there's only a few hundred people, but can it be helpful? Sure. It might be helpful for you. I mean, if you have a local group, then you can meet people locally. It's kind of neat to start a team. But to find a local group that has 10,000 members, or at least close to 10,000 members, oh man, that would probably be pretty tough. That would, unless you live in New York City, probably, or a big city. And I haven't checked all the Atlanta groups, so there may be. I mean, obviously Atlanta's a big city, but I don't know. What about safety on Facebook to protect your spouse, family? Yeah, I mean, you always have to take in consideration. That's why we always do. Look, if they're asking me, I'm Facebook stalking them. Okay? They're Facebook stalking me, so I'm Facebook stalking them. If there's anything questionable, then the conversation ends. Okay? So just to make sure everybody knows, that's done. I'm not going to keep going with people with Facebook if their things are questionable. So I have my criteria of what I feel like is good things. And so like literally as I'm speaking, I just got a notification of people who are following me. Now following is a little bit different than a friend request. So apparently there's something I put out today that someone liked. And so now they're commenting and they're following me. Hey, that's a good thing, guys. Following is a little bit different because following means that they're not friending or requesting me, but they're interested in what I'm doing. I'm okay with followers. Okay. So just so that you know, I do allow followers. I just saw another question pop up. What about seeing the groups you are a part of? Is this a problem? Do they see what groups I'm in? Do people see what groups I'm in? I don't care if they see what groups I'm in, but the only way they can see what I'm posting is if they join that group. Okay, because I only join closed groups. Okay, I only join closed groups, and the groups I manage are only closed. So in my prospecting group, guys, I'm very open with LifeVantage in my prospecting groups. Very, very open. I mean, everything's testimonials, product science, et cetera, business testimonials. Everything's wide open in there, but it's a closed group. So the only way that you're going to get in there, okay, the only way that you're going to get in there is if you answer my questions. And so that's important. I very rarely, here's another question. I very rarely ever post a main post in these groups that I'm marketing in. But I will certainly comment all the time. And that's both giving a value as well as marketing. So I very, very rarely do you ever see me actually post a main post. It's just not my jam.
Hey, Jason, this is Rick.
Yeah.
Hey, from what I understand on Facebook, you're allowed to have up to 5,000 friends. I noticed on your page you had 1,900 and something. Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of people teach you for you to go out there and accept so many friends a day. And I assume based on your number, you're not necessarily following that routine.
Not at all. In fact, I actually, personally, my opinion, I hate that routine. Look, I've been on Facebook since like month 4 of Facebook's existence, basically. I don't know exactly when but I was fairly quickly after Facebook came into existence, and I have yet to reach 5,000 friends. And so some people say, max out all your friends. Well, I think that's dumb, because if I have people who legitimately want to reach out to me, who are legitimate candidates, I don't want my 5,000 friends to hinder for them from doing that. The other thing that I don't like about that is that when I do these 5,000 friends, I'm going to tell you something. I can smell spammers miles away. Okay. And so I don't want people to be my friends just so I have a big number. Okay. Here's the thing. Out of those, whatever amount of friends you just said, I can't remember the last time I friended somebody. I personally asked to friend somebody. I can't remember the last time. It's probably been a few years. So all the majority of the people that you're seeing there is because they're friend requesting me, okay? And by the way, that's what I want, right? Because that's attraction marketing. That means I don't have to go headhunt. They're hunting me. Does that make sense? So I'd rather have that, because when I'm headhunting, it comes across really, really spammy, and I don't want to be spammy, okay? So that's the thing I'm trying to avoid. I'm trying to avoid being spammy. The last thing we want is the guy who, how many of you have ever got a Facebook message from somebody you don't know asking you to look at their products or their business? Anybody? I know I have. I get it like on a weekly basis. Okay. I hate that. And that's what those asking the 5,000 people to do. They're expecting you to do that. Let the people come naturally to you. I think it's a much more honorable, appropriate way to do so. Okay? That's my opinion. You don't have to buy into it. I'm just telling you why I do it. Okay? Any other questions, guys? I know you guys you've been superstars for hanging out with me for such a long time tonight. Carol, so there's in your settings, you may not have your following on. Okay? So you can turn your following on, you can turn your following off. You'll have to go up to your settings and see, and then in there you can find out who's following. If you have it on, you can find out who's following you. So just go to your settings of Facebook. I have mine on. You don't have to. I kind of feel bummed for the people who follow me because, like, I don't put anything super exciting on my main Facebook profile. So how long did it take for people to be attracted to me? Honestly, right away. And the reason why is because if we say this, what I call hook statements, I don't know if that's an official term or not. It's my official term. Should write a book about hook statements. Anyway, these hook statements are to intrigue people. So if I am intriguing people enough with my hook statements, then they're wanting to learn. And so you can have a one hook statement. I'm going to give you a scenario, guys. Last year, I don't remember what it was. No, it was 2 years ago. 2 years ago. A year and a half ago. I said a statement that, frankly, I wasn't expecting to be big, but it turned out big. I mean, huge. So much so that within the course of an hour, I had over 1,500 likes on that comment. And I had over 700 comments, and I had over 100 private messages to me. Okay, now, to be very honest with you, my intention was not actually to market with that. But it ended up happening that way, okay? Now, what do you do with that, right? What do you do with over 100 people questioning or Facebook messaging? Well, you do a Zoom call. That's what you do. You do a big Zoom call, and I did. I had about 50 people on that Zoom call, okay? So do you have to be like I said, it doesn't matter what it doesn't matter what works, it only matters what duplicates. Do I have to have a big following in order for people to follow me? Nope. I just have to be the one who leads the group in order for them to follow me. So I have to say those hook statements to say, for these people to say, whatever it is Jason's talking about, I want to learn more about that. Okay, does that make sense? And so, guys, the key is you give value in these groups. And when you say those hook statements, they're going to ask questions. And they're going to private message you. And it's going to happen all the time. Okay? Some of these statements are only relatable to me, so I can't say, can you give me an example? Sometimes I can't because it's only related to who I am. Okay? Sometimes they're general stuff. One of the key things, you're going to find a lot of these groups, especially groups with kids, you're going to find a lot of them talk about autism. Guys, I throw out the word glutathione like it's Halloween candy. Because the majority of people out there have no clue what glutathione is. And when they understand what glutathione is, it totally blows their mind. Okay? Question, how did I get good at hook statements? Trial and error, just to be honest with you. What I learned is it's the patience in the hook statements more important. So it's not, hey, have you ever heard about glutathione? Let me tell you about glutathione. It's the master antioxidant. It's the only antioxidant in the brain that can break through the blood-brain barrier, and it's really cool for neurodegenerative issues. Whoa, overload, kill everybody who's on the conversation, and you're done. Okay? But what I'll say is, hey guys, have you ever heard about glutathione and how it might help or affect somebody with autism? Okay? Now, what do you think the next statement on their part is going to be? I don't even know what glutathione is. Well, let me tell you what glutathione is. So glutathione is a master antioxidant. It's the only enzyme in our body that can break the blood-brain barrier. Well, tell me a little bit more about that. Well, glutathione is an enzyme, and it's naturally there, but people who have neurodegenerative diseases don't produce as much glutathione as they need. Well, how do we produce more glutathione? Well, that's a great question. Well, we activate it. Well, how do you activate it? Well, listen, guys, look. this is going to take way more conversation than I want to put on Facebook through text. So look, if you're really interested in learning about glutathione, hey, message me. I'm more than happy to talk to you about all this kind of stuff. So guess what happens? 10, 15, 20 people message me. And now guess what I get to do? I get to wax eloquent and talk to them, hopefully on a Zoom call at that point in time. All right. But you see, it's steps, it's patience. Does that make sense? Okay. So in the beginning, it was just learning and playing around with it. That's what I did. All right. So hook statements, again, if a person's talking about autism in their kid, the hook statement might be, well, have you ever heard about glutathione and autism? Or how glutathione affects autism? Something like that. Okay. If it's, hey, my job is really terrible. What kind of side hustles do you guys do? Guys, that comes up every day. Like literally every day. Hey, guys, what side hustles do you do? Well, hey, guys, actually, I do ones with residual income. That's what I do. Well, what's residual income? Well, there's linear income, there's residual income. 99% of the world gets paid linear, 1% gets paid residual. Linear is you trade time for money. Residual is you work once, but you continually get paid for it. That's what I do. Well, what do you do? Well, I could keep talking eloquently across this, or why don't you message me and we can go in deeper conversation? Well, guess what? They message me and we go deeper in conversation. Okay? Hopefully, again, to get them to a Zoom call. Okay? All right, makes sense? Any other questions? Wow, you guys are like superstars. You guys have been on here for a long time. But I think this kind of interests you. Am I right? All right. Any other questions? Awesome. Oh, the remote control stood up. The remote control being David Lowe. He stood up to come up. All right. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay. So what if you're in a group and I was trying to put out these hook statements, and then the admin gets angry because you won't answer, like you won't just continue answering everybody's questions, and basically, slaps you on your wrist and says, you're not, why aren't you sharing the information with everyone?
And that's where I cop out and say, look, I'm not here to answer all day and all night. All of these, I gave this information, and if you want to get more information, message me, because I'm not going to stay on here all day talking about the stuff. Because here's the thing, guys. Frankly, I hate typing. I hate texting. Look, guys, for those of you who've never met me personally, I'm 6'6". My fingers are really fat. So when it comes to texting on my phone, because by the way, this is what I use to do my business. I don't actually use my computer. This is what I use in my business. And for any of you who follow me on Facebook and any of my private groups, look, I'm terrible at writing. In fact, Carolyn, I'll have to pick on her a little bit. She private messages me all the time because of how bad I mess up my swipe texting, because I have an Android phone and I swipe text. For those of you who have Android, you know what I'm talking about, right? And man, my fat fingers, they say some of the stupidest things sometimes. In fact, today, some of you might have caught it on WhatsApp. I tried to say, I have something. Instead of saying, I have something, it came out as, I hate you. I'm like, oops, didn't mean to say that. Well, that was my fat fingers on swipe text. And so, guys, I apologize for that. Just so that you know, in fact, Rick Browning earlier today, I told Rick Browning that you're going to love this, guys. So this just happened literally before this call. And I told Rick, hey, in April, I'm planning to come up to April to teach LVA in Cleveland. There he is. He's put it up there. And he says, well, let me know. And I said, I sure will, pie face. Well, what that was supposed to be was a smiley face. Okay? Somehow it came out pie face. So, here you go, guys. You just see me being an idiot on texting and all that kind of stuff. So, personally, I really do hate using this to do all that type of stuff. So I would rather take it to a private message or to a Zoom call. Obviously, my end game is to get them to a Zoom call. Anything and everything I'm doing is to get them to a Zoom call. I'm appreciative of people like Carolyn who do say, Jason, you need to go back and check this post because you royally obliterated it. And then I go back like, oh my goodness, how embarrassing of what I just put. Don't mean to do it. It's just that it happens. Okay. So I will put that out there to you guys so that you guys understand that that's kind of how life goes. But hey, you guys don't have to be perfect, which is a good thing. Okay. Whew. Thanks, Rick, for calling me out on that with actually showing them the screenshot. No, actually, that's totally fine. Totally fine. Any other questions about anything? All right. All of you East Coasters are looking like zombies to me right now. You're like, oh man, it's time to get to bed. I'm joking. You look great, but it's like it's time to go to bed, right? I'm wide awake. I need to go drink another Axio. Let's just do this. All-nighter. Learn how to do all this type of stuff, right? Any other final questions, guys? I did have an Axio. In fact, Kathy, I had an Axio right before your meeting that I did for you tonight. So yes, it wasn't so long ago. So yep, I'm ready to go to bed. That's what I am. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Well, hey, obviously you can see this was recorded. And I'll probably put it in the units file somewhere, but this is a long training. Holy macaroni, is a long training. All right, but you guys are awesome. If you have any other questions about this, feel free. I'm going to tag this in the units training as the next unit because I get this question asked all the time. If your team was not on here, hey, tag them in that unit training. I'll get this up tomorrow because I'm going to bed. Any other final questions, guys? All right. Hey guys, thanks for sticking around, all of y'all. And we had a good group on here. My goodness, we even late into the evening, we still have a bunch on here. So cool stuff, guys. Appreciate you. I hope you guys know that. You guys have a great evening, and I want 20 platinum packs from social media by tomorrow. Have a good night.